Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 4604 Southeast 70th Avenue here in Portland. We're located inside the basement of the home. Just inside the door, there's a clean out right here inside the wall, going into 4-inch cast iron pipe, and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. I'm going to zero out the camera right here at the base of the stack, and here we go. Transitions here to 4-inch concrete pipe. This may be 6-inch concrete. It's very difficult to tell. That the transition here is almost flush, but it does kind of go up, kind of beyond where you can get a good view at it. It may be 6. It looks like 4-inch though. Here at just about 10 feet, we have kind of a tough view of it. In fact, I'll turn the water off here for just a second so we can see it. I turned one of the sinks off just to reduce the water flow a little bit, but right up here at about 10 feet, you can see the large opening on the side of the line there. That would be, the way that this line's coming out, looks like it's going out the left side of the house and then going up the driveway to the street. So that would be a tie-in, if it's a party line, a tie-in from the house directly to the left of this one. And I will see if they're home here to see if we can get them to do a flush and see water come through. Otherwise, you'll have to contact the city and have them pull records to see if they can confirm it's an active party line. But it's the way that that's set up there, where it's located, is very indicative of a party sewer. And I do want to point out while we're going through here, you can see the aggregate rock right under the camera. There's a lot of aggregate showing through those little fissures down in between the rocks that are getting pretty deep. So there's when it starts wearing out like that, the concrete becomes what we call eggshell condition. You can actually get water seeping out through the concrete because it's worn so much. It's hard to confirm that without doing something like a dye test, but that's what can happen with pipe that's getting worn like this. And eventually the concrete will wear out. It has a lifespan and it generally starts just kind of falling apart. Hey, we have another tie-in here at 56 feet, another full-size one. That one is coming, it looks like, from the right side of the driveway. So this one here could be storm drain, and both of them could be storm drain connections. Just the way that first one's set up, that really looks like a party line. Transitioning here, this would most likely be 6 inches. Generally, terracotta clay is always 6-inch pipe, but it's switching to clay here at 73 feet. And here at 85 feet, we have reached what appears to be the terminus of the line. I'm going to locate and see if we're out at the main on Southeast 70th. I did locate the camera head successfully out at the main lateral on Southeast 70th, so it does look like it's, like I was saying, goes out the left side of the home and then comes up the driveway towards the street. We've had the water turned off now for a few minutes. If it is indeed a party line, we may never get the water to turn off, because if you have a neighbor running water, obviously it's going to be running through there. So we're going to start pulling back here. In this clay section of the line here, this red pipe, this is city responsibility. All the pipe from the curb out into from curb to curb is the city's. So at this point, the line is all drained out, so we do have some standing water here in the line. It's about a ½ inch. My camera's not getting right in the middle of it. It's kind of sliding along the pipe wall there. Okay, here's our furthest out tie-in. I'm going to locate and see what this is near. This could very easily be a storm drain tie-in. Alright, the camera currently is located, we're in the driveway about 15 feet or so from the street curb area. And I wanted to mention about that belly that's up ahead there. With only a quarter to ½ inch of standing water, that's all that there is there. It's not, ideally you don't have any standing water, but in a situation like this, the cost incurred to repair something like that, to fix the belly where there's no debris hanging up or anything, in my opinion, is simply not worth the money into it. If it was, 1 to 2 inches or more of standing water with a lot of debris building up there, I would be much more likely to recommend a repair on it. But you're going to have to dig through concrete and down quite a ways there. You're going to be $3 to $5 grand into fixing something that's not showing any evidence of causing an issue. The tie-ins here, the other reason too, you need to look into the city and find out whether these are party lines or not. We're going to try and get the neighbor next door to flush a toilet. See if we can see any water come through. My concern here are those tie-ins, but just the overall condition of the concrete. There's a lot of aggregate rock showing through in the flow line. In a situation like this, I generally don't recommend doing trenching the pipe. If you can do a pipeliner, you're going to be a lot of money ahead, because you can do that without having to dig the line up. And you're going to retain some of these little spots right here, like this spot here with some standing water, but it's not even affecting the flow to begin with, and with smooth plastic pipe inside there, it's going to be no big deal. So definitely the way to go as far as repairing this. And the party line situation is a tricky one. If the city deems it so, sometimes everyone's line has to be redone. Sometimes the host, which this line does look like it would be the host, sometimes can keep their line as long as it's still functioning. We've got some debris buildup right here in the line. Not terribly thick. So overall, the line drains out fairly well. It's kind of in rough shape, but throughout the line here, unless water is seeping through the concrete, which again, we can't really test that unless you were to do like a dye test or something of that nature, we have adequate flow to the main lateral, and the line is functioning at this time. I'm just concerned for the tie-ins here and just the overall condition of the line. It's still working, but it's getting near the end of its life cycle. I'm going to locate this, and I will get this one marked here. The other one has a car sitting over the top of it, but again, it's right in the middle of the driveway, about 15 feet or so away from the curb, where that furthest out tie-in is at 56 feet out. We were able to make contact with the neighbor next door. They said that they're going to run some water. We'll see if we see anything come through. Because I'm not seeing any water tying in here, coming through the tie-in. I still think it's a good idea to contact the city and see if they have any records showing a party line. The unit or the building next door looks like it's a tri or fourplex, which could have different amounts of lines going out different directions. So I would still look into that. I wanted to point out this spot here at 7 feet. We do have again, another belly. There's about 3 of these in the line. What makes me nervous, though, is that we could have concrete actually wearing out here, not just simply the pipe settling. There's enough aggregate rock showing throughout the line that it's entirely possible that this dip here in the pipe is due to the concrete wearing thin and just holding water in that spot. So currently the line is functioning. Not perfectly, as it's old, it's worn, it's got some jagged, rough surfaces in there to grab debris, but currently it does not have all that much in it. So it is functioning, but I would recommend doing an update on this line within the next 2 to 5 years to make sure that concrete doesn't completely wear out on you. And this is one that you could definitely do a pipeliner on and avoid digging up the driveway. I'm going to go ahead and roll the camera out. I recommend a rescope after any repair work is done to ensure it was done correctly.